All right, CFW, this is week 2 of the program. So Monday we got our holiday, so we're going to do one class together. We're going to start the week off with our overhead work, working on our strength. We're going to do a strict press. We're going to build up to a 5 rep max in about 4 to 6 sets. So just purely testing that overhead pressing strength, getting into a good lockout with that barbell. And then whatever we end up at, we're going to do 75% of that and 3 sets of 5. So let's say you got 100 pounds, you're going to drop down to 70, 75 pounds, and you're going to do 3 sets of 5 there. So the goal is to kind of stimulate that strength with the 5 rep max, really challenge yourself to see where you're at with your 5 rep. And then we're going to do some drop sets to build some capacity there and to get still that stimulus of strength. So every time you do that press, really get a nice hard lockout at the top, punch it out at the top, so you can train those muscles to work fast and explosive on the way up. And that's how we're going to start to build more of that strength, because that comes from the coordination of the muscles and the speed of them contracting. So we're going to do that for the first part, working on the upper body strength. And then our workout is going to be a strength endurance workout. So we're going to have upper body and lower body combined this one. This one's a nice couplet, 5 rounds for time. We got 9 front squats at a heavy weight and then 6 bar muscle ups. So the 9 front squats are meant to be a bar off of the ground. So be able to clean that bar into your front rack position and get into front squats. So that will be dictated by your clean technique and how well you can do that. If there's a huge difference between your clean technique and how much you can front squat, then it's okay to go off of a rack. But again, if it's pretty close, I would say then definitely clean it. If you have the ability to, then definitely clean it for today. 9 of those, and then 6 bar muscle ups. And these are meant to be a challenging pull up progression. So for some of you, maybe we're going to be doing bar muscle ups. Some of you might be focusing on just the pull itself. So maybe some kind of strict pull up or just building that strength to get into that chin over bar position. So find something for yourself that you can scale to about 6 that are going to be tough. If you can't quite find that, maybe you can up the reps a little bit. So we can think of even 10 to 12 kipping pull-ups or kipping chest to bar pull-ups that feel tough for you. I know for functions today, you're going to be jumping into, pick something for this, like a hard ring row progression, something that you have to break up. So you could up the reps and do 10 to 12 reps, but make them challenging. So you have to break it up. So maybe the angle that you're used to is like 45 degrees. I want you to walk your feet out even further. And so that you have to do like 3 or 4 at a time before you need to take a break. So strength endurance is the stimulus we're trying to get today. That's going to feel like heavy breathing. So it's like you do a couple reps and then you got to take a break. Do a couple reps, you got to take a break. It's not really the cardio, it's the strength, that amount of kind of effort it takes to do each rep. So that's what we're after today, and strength is the main kind of focus on today's Monday workout. Going into the next day, as we know, Tuesdays is going to be more of a lighter intensity, and we're working on more of the conditioning. So we're going to start with our skill. We're going to work on our double unders here. So we get some chance to work on it every 90 seconds for 6 rounds. We're either going to do 60 seconds of double under practice with a 30-second break, or 10 to 50 unbroken double unders for quality. So we're working on our technique. That could be how we hold the rope, how we jump, where we position the rope. Tons of different things that we can look at to start to improve our technique and our coordination there. So you can kind of choose your adventure and what skill work you want to do. And then our workout has 3 sections to it. This one's a fun one. We got 15 dual dumbbell power cleans and then 150 double unders, 15 dual dumbbell power cleans again, and then 20 lateral burpees over the dumbbell. Then we're going to rest 3 minutes. So whenever you finish, rest 3 minutes, and then you're going to do the same thing with 15, 125, 15, and 15. To rest 2 minutes, and then 15, 100, 15, 10. So the first round is going to take the longest. The next round is going to be a little slower, or a little shorter, and then a little bit shorter at the end there because we got less reps. So in this one is purely kind of a conditioning workout here. I would choose weights and progressions that you can keep your heart rate up. I would say like each of these sections would be somewhere around 4 to 6 minutes roughly. depending on what progressions you choose. You don't want it to be any shorter than that or any longer than that. So kind of be within that range if you can. If you're maybe plus or minus 1 minute, that's okay. But I would say that 4 to 6 minute range is probably where I would aim for looking at this workout. And again, the conditioning is the stimulus out of this one. So I want to see you guys get like push more and try to conserve your energy into those later rounds. So that first round is a lot of reps. So then we want to kind of pace it and go at like a 70% gear. Second round is like an 80% gear. Last round is at a like 90, 100% pace gear. So think about that when you're going into this, the pacing to help you kind of work on your how much you're going at once, and then it'll help you build your endurance as well. So you build the skill of like how much you should push depending on how many reps there are and how you're feeling throughout the workout. So conditioning or endurance is going to be the main focus of today there. Going into Wednesday, we got our skill work. So I'm going to get our barbell out and we're going to focus on the snatch, tall snatches. So these are meant to be done either catching it in a power position or in a squat position. If we have an overhead squat, then we can go into that overhead squat from the tall snatch. If we don't, we're going to stick to the power. Same thing for the high hang snatch. Ideally going into the squat, but if we don't have it, doing a power snatch. And the goal of today is just to work on the bar path, trying to keep it nice and close and getting into a good overhead position. So first 90 seconds or first 5 rounds, we're going to do 3 tall snatches every 90 seconds. Then the next 5 rounds right after are going to be 3 high hang snatches. So look back at last week. We're going to do the same progression we did and try to build off of that. And the focus is skill and technique work for the first part. Then our workout. This one's a fun one. A little bit of a newer movement in a way. We're going to do 1 round or AMRAP 10, 1 round of Cindy to start. So that's going to be 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. When we're done the squats, we're going to go into 1 rep of an incremental shuttle run. So it's going to be 25 feet out, 25 feet back, then 50 feet out, 50 feet back, 75, 75, and then 100, 100. And then that's going to be 1. And we're only going to do 1 after each round of Sydney. So the 10 minutes, you're going to count your reps here. And you want to, I would say like, I would just count it as like a round of Sydney is 1 rep, and then 1 incremental shuttle run is 1 rep. You can kind of count it like that. The shuttle run, I mean, like it might be more hard, a little difficult to measure there, but as long as you put in the notes what you did in the Sydney, like if you were halfway through Sydney, you can write that in the notes. But for today's workout, we can go just like 1 and 1 there. Okay. Otherwise, we'll note it in the notes there on specific how to do it. But based on how I have it written down, I would look at 1 round of Sydney as 1 rep, 1 incremental shuttle run as 1 rep. So you got to work hard for it. And if you get stuck halfway in a round, don't give up. If the time cap is going to expire, just keep going. See how far you can get there. Okay. So skill and technique work to start. And then our workout is like a high intensity conditioning workout. So this one, we're pedal to the metal, going fast, as long as you have good technique and form, of course, but we want to be at that higher end intensity in this workout. So you should be breathing fast in this one. Your heart is racing. You're feeling the burn in your legs because of the squatting and the running back to back together. That's what you should be noticing in this one. So really fun one for Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're going to take it a little easier, go at a slower pace because we got a longer workout. Today's a conditioning day. So we got 40 minutes, an EMOM 40, first minute rowing calories, second minute burpees, third minute bike calories, fourth minute dumbbell step ups with 1 dumbbell. The goal of this one is to just move efficiently and as consistently as you can for those 10 rounds there. So I want you to track your reps. And if you can keep your reps, let's say plus or minus 2 to 3 from 1 round to the next. So that means like maybe first round you get 20, next round you get 22, then the round after that you get 18, then 19 and so forth. Then you're kind of in a good range there. But if you're like starting at 30, then 25, then 20, and then it's just dropping off, you went out too fast. So we want to see a nice even spread across all the rounds there. And that way we're working on the skill of pacing and building endurance off of this workout, which is the stimulus. So that will be Thursday. Going into Friday's workout, deadlifts are back. We're going to continue this throughout this cycle. We're going to work on a 5x5 deadlift. And this is going to be every rep or every rep, we want to do a 3-second eccentric on the way down. So really controlling on the way down and making sure our hamstrings, our hamstrings, glutes, our posterior chain is taking the work. Really focusing on hinging at our hips and not squatting down. So this is a really important thing for technique. Make sure like when you're driving yourself down, you're sending your butt back. You're not just bending the hips and the knees at the same rate, because that will be more of a squat and that's not going to be proper technique for a deadlift there. So keep that in mind, and that 3-second eccentric should help you focus on that. These can be done touch and go, or if you need to pause at the bottom, that's okay too as well. But if you have the skill, touch and go is okay today to kind of keep that time under tension. And we have 20 minutes to work through this 5x5. So try to focus on building up across those 5 sets. Those last couple sets should be more of your heavier sets that you get challenged on. Our workout, interesting one. We got a couplet of gymnastics movements, a kind of push-pull. So we got our handstand push-ups and then toes to bar. This one's for time, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3. And then we got a bonus round at the end of 15. So how this works is we want to pace this out in a way that when we get to our threes, we're not burnt out, because we got a big chunk at the end there. And I want to test that stamina. I want to test how well you can pace this, because if you go out just maxing out every single time and you hit a wall early, that round of 15 is going to take a long time. So I almost want you to treat that first round of 15 or the last round of 15 like the first round of 15. So kind of pace it like that, go into it with that mentality. Of course, you're going to have fatigue in it, so it might be a little slower, and that's okay. But what we don't want to do is after the threes be like completely gassed out and then just be struggling through the 15s, just doing like 1 or 2 at a time. I would choose progressions today for your handstand push-ups and the toes to bar that you can do about, I would say, 3 to 5 in a row before you need to take a break. Kind of like 5 would be the max, I would say. If you're doing 15 in a row, make it a little bit more challenging for yourself. So I would say like maybe go on a deficit, or if you're doing it off of a box, bring your hands a little bit higher off the ground with some plates. So challenge yourself today. We're testing strength and endurance. So we want that strength stimulus and the endurance being more of the capacity of doing this. I would say more of the stamina, not the endurance, that we're testing in our gymnastics today. So that's our workout. Nice couplet with a little bonus round at the end, making a total rep count, I believe, of 60 reps total of everything. So yeah, 15, 45, yeah, 60 reps total. So it'll be a good one. And then our Saturday, we're going to repeat this, or we're going to go into FightGone Bad 5. This one is the 5-round version for total reps: 1 minute wall ball shots, 1 minute sumo deadlift high pulls, 1 minute box jumps, 1 minute push press, 1 minute row, 1 minute rest. Really focusing on our pacing here. So not going too fast. We got 5 total rounds, a 30-minute workout. We got to be smart about how we pace this one. So really good benchmark, and I'd like to test this one later in the future in this cycle. And then our Sunday workout, we got our partner workout, interesting one. 10-minute AMRAP, 1 minute plank hold, 25/20 cal bike, plank hold, bike, plank hold, bike, plank hold, and then we're going to go into max back squats in the remaining time. With your partner, you can split this up however you want, but we got to go pedal to the metal with this one. We got to push in this one so that we can get some back squats out. The back squats are meant to be done at a weight for 185 for the guys and 125 for ladies. If we have that, this should be something where you can do about 6 to 12 reps in a row. If you can do that, then that'll be a good weight. If you need to have different weights, definitely do that, or even do some goblet squats too as well. That'll be a good kind of way to approach this one. So this workout's going to really challenge the muscle endurance in this. So how much can we last in our core and in our like legs with all this salt biking combined with the squat. So we're going to have very specific muscle groups be very tired in this one because we're going to hit them so often in this 10-minute AMRAP. When we're done the 10-minute AMRAP, we're going to rest 5 minutes and actually do it one more time. So you get a 2-rounder going through it. But remember, this is with a partner, so you can split it up however you want. So this is week 2 for you guys of the 10-week program. Hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you guys next week.